So who knew that Jordan Peele was such a great horror director? Get Out stars Daniel Kaluuya, Allison Williams, and is directed by Jordan Peele. Okay guys, before we get started, after the rating, I'm going to talk some spoiler talk, but you're fine up until the rating. So what's up guys? Out of all the trailers that have piqued my interest over the last couple months, Get Out is one that really caught my attention. The trailer itself has so many interesting elements about it. It tackles a lot of different topics, and it's a horror movie, so that really caught my interest. But also, everything around it, even not pertaining to horror, caught my interest because it deals with interracial relationships, and even today, this is a topic that does create discussion, and when you mix that with a horror movie, it can be really interesting. So in Get Out, you got this couple, Chris and Rose. They've been dating for quite a few months, and it's time to go meet the family. Right away, Chris has to ask Rose, do they know that I'm black? And that's one of the reasons why I brought up, interracial relationships. This is not something that you normally have to bring up when you're going to meet the parents. But unfortunately, Chris has to ask that question. So they're on their way to meet the parents, and then all of a sudden this accident happens and they get pulled over by the cops. And this is where things start getting a little eerie. But what really makes it eerie is once they get there, Chris notices that all the servants are black. And not only that, but they're not acting normal. They're acting very strange, and this raises a huge red flag. So he knows something is rotten in Denmark. And really that's about all I can tell you, because there are huge plot elements of this movie that would be strongly considered spoiler territory. And I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but I will tell you that this is a fantastically directed film. And right away, you're going to get Hitchcock vibes, even in the score. This is not your conventional horror movie that you see today. A good example is Rings that we just saw a month ago. No, not at all. This is a very well crafted movie. And first off, I like the characters and the actors who play those characters in this movie. Daniel Kaluuya, I've never seen him in anything, but he does a fantastic job in this movie, and he is the main character. And this is a role that asks a lot of an actor. He starts out the movie one way, but by the end, he has been through an ordeal. But he pulls off an acting performance, especially in this one scene that involves hypnotism. It was really just jaw-dropping to watch. Also, you got veteran character actors, Bradley Whitford and Kathleen Keener. You've probably seen them in 10 other movies that you didn't even realize. They really just bring the realism and the creepiness of this family. And I think you need good character actors for these types of roles. They don't feel like actors, they feel like just weird people. And so whatever unfolds later in the story, you completely believe it because they sell it. Now, obviously, if you've seen the trailers, there are elements of this film that remind you of like the Stepford Wives, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I like films that put people in situations that aren't of the norm, where you might have interactions with characters that seem like almost robots. And there's usually this one little thing that can kind of flick the switch, if you will. And you're just waiting for that to happen. And that's what's great about probably the first 45 minutes of this movie. You're waiting for that switch to be flipped. And I will admit this is a slow burn, but you're never uninterested because there's this constant sense of tension throughout. But once the rug is pulled out and all bets are off, it is a hell of a ride. And you might be surprised by where the third act goes of Get Out. Now, as far as any cons, there is one element that I don't want to dig too deep into, but it is predictable, and that's all I'm going to say. But overall, guys, I'll definitely give this movie a purchase worthy. I had a damn good time with Get Out. Okay, guys, now that we got the rating out of the way, I'm going to do a little bit of spoiler talk. So if you haven't seen this movie, I suggest you go ahead and get out of here. Now, really the big thing that I wanted to talk about as far as spoilers go is the ultimate motivations of the family in this movie. This is a rich suburban neighborhood, and they are basically selling off the consciousness of black people to these elderly people. And really that was the burning question throughout this whole thing is, why is all this happening? A lot of it doesn't make any sense. But really they just wanted, I guess, the perfect specimen. And where the race aspect fits into it is they kind of blamed it on the current fad of today. How most of our best athletes today happen to be African American. And also the third act in this movie was just insane. And it was pretty abrupt. It actually ended a lot quicker than I thought it would. And bloody as hell too. I didn't expect Chris to actually end up killing everybody to get out of there. But that's pretty much what he had to do to save his own life. So that is my Get Out review. What are your thoughts on this movie? Looking forward to hearing them. Post down in the comments. Also, make sure you join the Killer Flicks Facebook group where we talk horror all day, every day. Look down below. You can see all my social media links. If you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and Drumdum out.